Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So a lot of times we have this question, do succulents love to be crowded? Will they grow well if they're crowded, very close to each other? Now guys, this completely depends upon your environment. For me, if I'm going to talk from my point of view, it doesn't work out really well for me because of my environment. Because my environment, even though it's dry, it tends to get slightly warm, and I'm from a tropical environment, so there is a good amount of rain as well. So for me, the main priority is that there has to be a good amount of air circulation. For a lot of people who are from a very dry and cool environment, who do not receive a lot of rainfall, probably it is going to work out well for them, because you might have seen a lot of images on Instagram or Facebook wherein people have this really tightly constructed arrangements. It tends to work out for them. But if you are from a humid environment, if you are from a warm environment or a tropical environment, clubbing them too close to each other could turn out to be an issue, because when the succulents are very closely constructed, it tends to restrict the air circulation, it tends to restrict the airflow, due to which a lot of times, so some of the succulents might develop fungus or mold, or at times it might even get rotted because there is not much of airflow. Air circulation is another very important factor for succulents. So you can see my succulents, they have enough space. Now these are my Echeveria, so I tend to keep enough space between them because they tend to grow wide, they tend to grow horizontal, they spread, so we need to have enough space. So for me, clubbing them together does not work out. I have clubbed succulents before and I have made a very tightly constructed arrangement, and it did not last long. Either one or two used to get rotted, so I started ensuring that even though it looks very scanty, but as long as the succulent is happy, it's absolutely fine. Over here as well, you can see I had planted these quite away from each other, but over the period of time as they started to grow, they have kind of congested each other, and at the same time I have some rots over here, I have some rot over here. This is basically because there was not much of airflow, due to which, again over here as well, due to which the ones that were very deep down, they happen to get rotted because of excess moisture in the environment, because it has been raining a lot. And over here as well, you can see they were planted far away from each other, but they have started to get congested, and it becomes very difficult even to clean the dry leaves. Even over here, as you can see, it's going to be very difficult to do a maintenance and to check if there are any bugs or not. Now I'm from a tropical environment, so there can be issue of moisture, there can be pest attack, they can easily hide in between these tightly knitted arrangements. So that's why I tend to leave enough space, and over the period of time they tend to grow and they tend to, look a little bit more clustered. But when I tend to plant them, I ensure that I'm leaving enough space. Otherwise, usually there is casualties, like you can see over here. Now this was because of the rains, recent rains. So as you can see, because it was raining a lot, some of them have rotted. I had put the plastic, so I was able to save most of them. Now as you can see, this one has started to grow, even this one has started to grow. So probably I'll move them to a different pot. But I try and avoid making a very compact arrangement, because I want a good amount of airflow in between the succulents, so that they are feeling very fresh. I do not want to make it very congested. So it completely depends upon from where you're coming from. If your environment is very dry and cool, probably you can make an arrangement. But again, when you tend to make a very tight arrangement, it becomes very difficult to do maintenance, like taking out the dry leaves, checking for bugs. It can be a little bit of hassle, but it completely depends upon you and your environment. If your environment is good enough, then probably you can do it. But if your environment is humid and warm, then try and avoid a very congested kind of an arrangement. Give them a good amount of airflow. If you want, you can plant them in single pots as well, and then club the plants together, like keep the pots very close to each other. That is absolutely fine. But if you're having an arrangement like this, then try to keep enough space so that there is a good amount of airflow. Now imagine if it was raining a lot, and if I had a very tight arrangement like this, the soil would have not dried, and definitely there would have been a lot of casualties. So it completely depends upon you. If you want, you can kind of keep them spaced out like this. You can see they are growing fine. There is enough space in between. There is a good amount of air circulation. Even if I'm going to put a plastic over it, there is going to be a good amount of air circulation. So this completely depends upon you, from what environment you come from. But if you're going to ask my opinion, I would say keep a good amount of space between each of the variety. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.